Viewers, I'm going to drink right now. Good old blue.
Good old Johnny Walker Blue. Yeah. We got that shit on
Good
lock
old
now.
blue.
And I got some put here in the coffee cup bullet bourbon. It's a they call it frontier whiskey, and I personally like it for bourbons. It has
Oh, wait.
some
You
spice.
said whiskey and bourbon. That's me as a lad, not a layman.
Yeah.
As a lad, that's very confusing to me.
It literally says on the name, bullet bourbon
So why
frontier
did you
whiskey.
say whiskey, my friend?
Because it says frontier whiskey also.
Frontier whiskey and
Yeah.
That's
how they
a lot to take.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe next time. Maybe next time we can talk about this in like a better researched way. But the quick rundown on this is bourbon is a type of whiskey, such as Scotch is a type of whiskey, rye is a type of whiskey. So you can say whiskey as the general term, and then there's also two types of spellings for whiskey: the one with an e at the end before y, and then the one without an e.
I thought that was just an American British thing.
Yeah. So American when the whiskey without an e is usually a Scottish thing, like it's from Scotland when it doesn't have an e, and then usually if it's from the rest of the world it would have the e.
Well, I'd just like to sneak this in. In one of our future episodes, we should eat haggis.
Do you know where you can get?
No. I just think we should eat haggis.
Or we should make.
Whether we enjoy it or not.
I don't think it's gonna be that bad. So anyway.
And it's not out of the question. Okay, so back to PS5.
Yeah. So with the PS5, again, we got the release date, how much it's gonna be, and there's also a bit of news that came out because I forgot again when the exact announcement was made, but then they said that immediately after the announcement or the next day that there were gonna be pre-orders already. But then apparently it fucked up in America. I think different retailers had different plans for making their pre-orders.
That's one of the two fuck-ups we collectively as friends know so far. Because I know of one other fuck-up.
What?
Which is that they announced that Demon Souls remake for the PC, which got my dick really raised up. And right after that, they corrected themselves. And now I actually have to earn money to to buy that PS5 and Demon Souls remake.
Well, you never know. It might change plans in the future and make a PC version.
Yeah, but
That just depends on if you can wait.
Historically, Sony has been really tight on these exclusivity deals. So Demon Souls is a Sony exclusive. Bloodborne is a Sony exclusive. So it just makes sense that the remake is... So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to earn money for this shit. This shit I enjoy so much.
Yeah. Before you even put money into the podcast, you're gonna spend money on the games, which we can also review, which is part of the podcast. See, I'm already saving you from what I just said. Anyway, moving on. Again, the pre-orders suck, and just want to make a bit of a comparison with this with other releases that were announced earlier on, which was first the Xbox One X and the RTX 30 series. So first with the Xbox, because it has some more direct comparison with the PlayStation. I don't know much about it because I'm more of a PlayStation type of guy, but they did say that there are also going to be two versions for the Xbox. One is a more of an early access, an entry level type of Xbox, which is basically, if you think about PCs, it's the budget version of the Xbox, and then there's the full version.
So it's a laptop.
Yeah, kind of like that. So it's maybe for people who don't, maybe like if there's someone like you who just wants to play Demon Souls, Demon Souls, but then you don't really care about the good graphics or whatever. You just want to have access to the game.
I want a PvP. I want to ruin people's days.
So you can, if that was available on Xbox, then you can have probably just bought the budget version, and then also the more expensive version. And for the price points, it's the budget version is $100 cheaper than the non-optical drive PlayStation 5, and then the full version is $100 cheaper than the optical version disc of the PlayStation 5. So they always have these differences when it comes to specs and all that. And one thing that we were seeing, because we were trying to research on this beforehand, and that I don't know if any of us really understood, but they did say that for the Xbox, it's like the load times will be slower in general. That's how they say it. And then for the PlayStation 5, I think it's because I'm not sure if Xbox also has an SSD, but apparently the SSD of the PlayStation 5 would be faster. So it would inspire more innovation on making games that have seamless loading. Like if you open a door, maybe it's not really in a different game in the past, it would have loaded for like 30 seconds before you went through that door. But now they would be able to make games where everything should be seamless. So we'll only see what happens in the future when we actually get the PlayStation 5.
I'm not really one to give hot takes. In fact, I'm
Really?
I'm the guy who doesn't want to be cancelled. But at the cost of making people mad, I just like to share something. Ever since as a kid, maybe 2007, 8, 6. Ever since I've heard about the red ring of death of the Xbox, I've always I've dismissed the Xbox. I've kept myself from even considering buying one
Because of how common it is. I don't know if it's because of how
I've never even researched as a kid of
like
how
you just heard about it.
I heard about it, and
Well,
I haven't heard of a red ring of death of the PS3.
I think there should be an equivalent. Yeah, I think there was an equivalent.
Well, as a PS3 owner, I know the equivalent. It's the yellow ring of death, and
you found out later on
that it's not of death. It's just yellow ring of inconvenience. So maybe that's.
I remember because of that. I remember
maybe it's the red ring of inconvenience too.
I remember the good old days with the PlayStation 2 though, where you saw the loading screen and like, is the game gonna load or no? Fuck it. Now that shows how old we are.
It's just the floating shit. Squares and triangles.
But then, like with what you said, it's like it also sounds weird that you also went to PC gaming because PC it's very famous to have the blue screen of death.
Well, blue screen of death is not just for gamers.
Yeah. I mean, general using a PC.
Yeah. It's just in general, but the red ring of death, that's for gamers. And so, as a kid, I'm a gamer. Oh, this red ring of death's scary.
It was like
and my friend who's an avid PC Master Race viewer just convinced me to just buy a PC because we're in the Philippines.
And if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Except for online games.
Yeah,
and that's gonna be a clue for.
And most online games are free, just at the cost of microtransaction.
Yeah.
But with which we've discussed in our episode 2 or 3. Yeah. So watch our earlier episodes.